What's up, everybody? This is Real Talk with JK&T. Week 5. I'm Travis.
I'm Jay.
I'm Keith.
We got a little something brewing up for you guys in the coming weeks. New deal, possible working on something with Wings, etc. My buddy here, Jay, that's a part of the show, has something brewing for everyone. We'll bring more details to you guys when things are finalized and whatnot. But we're all looking forward to that. I'm in the middle of a job change, as I talked about in our last show, so I'll actually be pretty damn close to our new Wings, etc. Restaurant. That's just across from Riverview there in Noblesville on 32.
Man, they got good wings.
Yeah, great.
I mean, they pour the barbecue sauce.
I love the wings out there at Wings, etc. But we'll bring more on that as weeks come. We're brought to you again by New Era Auto and Design, where they do all things automotive. You can reach them at neweradesign10@gmail.com. Was everyone's week good?
Mine wasn't bad.
That was
really?
good.
That's another thing that grinds my gears.
Yeah.
People burping in the middle of the damn show.
Yeah.
No, mine wasn't bad. Took a family trip.
What grinds Chiefs' gears?
500-pound. Now, I can say this because I'm a fat guy too, but 500-pound men buying compression Under Armour shirts. Come on, dog.
Man, that just chaps your chest.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
But anyways.
That's a gear
Come on,
grinder.
dog. Damn, you sound like old boy off of American Idol. What's his name?
My
guy Randy Jackson.
Randy Jackson. No, but yeah, we went down to Gatlinburg for a few days, spent some time up in the mountains, and yeah, it wasn't bad. Long trip with kids, but
yeah, I spent yesterday evening watching the movie Wolf of Wall Street. If you haven't watched it, I would recommend it highly. It's pretty raunchy and explicit, but it's a very, very good movie. It's a true story, by the way, too.
Isn't that was it Leonardo DiCaprio and the one he's in? Okay.
Yep, check that out if you get a chance.
I'm not real familiar with this whole Wolf of Wall Street. I know you've sent me a couple clips, texted me a few times this weekend. What's this whole thing about?
It's an actual true story of a 23-year-old.
So this is a movie.
This is.
When was this movie introduced?
This movie was made at the end of 2013. It just now came out on DVD and
who's the star of this?
Leonardo DiCaprio and Jonah Hill, the kid that was in Superbad.
That might not be too bad.
Yeah, it's a very good movie. He's his right-hand man. Donnie Azoff is his name in the movie.
What are these cats all about?
What they do is they basically start their own firm where they buy into stocks and get people to take stocks, and they keep 50% of the profits for themselves. They made almost $1 billion over
So are these like investors or something?
Investors that
they're just stealing people's money.
Yeah, and basically
they're just unglorified politicians.
They stole people's money and just
a couple of Bernie Madoff's offspring. Then.
Pretty much, pretty much.
Oh shit.
Hit him with the Bernie.
Yeah, great movie though. If you get a chance to check it out, it is a very good movie. What about your week, Travis?
Wasn't too bad. Yesterday went over to the Keystone area and had dinner with the wife. Her birthday was Wednesday, the 26th.
Yeah.
She turned 29, so we went and had a little dinner and
good deal.
Walked around the mall. I tell you what, that Keystone Mall, the way they got that set up is just hell in a handbasket, I think. And hell, if you don't make Peyton Manning's salary, hell, you can't step into any of the stores there.
Yeah, what a joke.
That's what America's brought to now.
Yeah.
Can't afford a damn thing.
I tell you what, an exciting little segment. Obviously, we've had a phone in the past from a guy down in Texas, but we've got an email coming to you from Alex Garrett. He says, "Hello, JK&T. My name is Alex, faithful follower of the show."
Thank you, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. There is a video going around YouTube called Redneck Road Rage. I'd love to talk about people and taking road rage too far. Give it a view and see what your opinion is. Keep on rocking. Thanks for your show, Alex Garrett. We'll be phoning in to him here shortly, but Keith will tell you.
Let's get back to this video real quick.
Tell you a little bit about the video itself.
This video, at any time that I've seen it, did not state what state city or anything? To let,
Florida.
Was it Florida?
Yes.
Okay. A woman's traveling that looks like, a normal highway with a speed limit be 55, and she starts videotaping a guy that's, tailgating her. She turns around to show you that she's doing 60 miles an hour, turns back to watch him behind her, and he gets a chance to pass her, and starts to pass her, looks down and sees that she's videotaping, so he slows down and starts to get even with her, rolls his window down and starts flipping her off and yelling at her, and then hits the gas in this beautiful, F-350 or 250, whichever, and loses control. Fishtails twice, and it goes off on the the median there in the middle and hits some trees and stuff, and just totals this truck, almost tears it in half.
Now this video has gone viral since being on YouTube.
It's been on YouTube for like maybe 3 days.
It's millions of views.
It goes to show you, you take 2 or 3 minutes out of your day to videotape something random like this, and it can just blow up.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're going to call Alex and get him on the phone, and we'll have a good little chat with him. I'm glad he emailed the show.
Hello?
Alex,
Hey,
this is Keith from JK&T.
how's it going, Keith?
How you doing, Bob?
I'm doing alright.
Well, first we want to say thanks for listening to the show and following us, and thanks for the email. It's a pretty good topic, really, because every day you see some type of road rage, no matter where you live, where you drive. We just briefly shared a few inputs on the story. We gave a rough sketch of what this video was about. Kind of gave us our inputs on it. So right now we're going to give you a chance to tell us what you think about the video and anything you want to share about it.
Okay. First of all, it was, first of all, I want to say thank you for having me on the show. It's nice to be on the show.
Yeah, no problem.
No problem.
Program. I like listening to it. Originally, it was something I had seen go around Facebook, like I'm sure most other people had, and I really didn't think anything of it. And then I had seen that it was becoming a bigger story on a couple of different news sites, so I went and checked it out. And it's something that's a little concerning to me because it's like you said, it's something that everybody sees on a daily basis is people freaking out on the roads and getting aggressive, and this is just one example where somebody let the aggression go too far and then it ended up having a bad outcome.
Yeah, that's correct.
Absolutely, yeah. That outcome was pretty bad, But what's amazing to me is just how viral this video has went. It wasn't a very long video, but this guy acted like a fool and basically got his 15 minutes of fame. But I would have to agree. I think he took it a little too far. Now, what's your thoughts on the lady videotaping it? To me, it seemed like it was almost staged in some ways.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Alex. I'm sorry.
I don't think that it was the smartest idea for her to videotape. I had seen a news story they had on Yahoo following up about it where it showed her talking about videotaping it and paying attention, holding the phone behind her so she could videotape it and all that. First of all, it's bad driving on her part too, trying to worry about somebody else. Had I been in a situation like that, I would have just let the guy get past me and ignore it and not try to videotape him and get something like that on camera. I'd be worried about my own safety rather than my 15 minutes of fame.
Absolutely.
And in order to really authenticate this video and this situation happening, it makes one wonder if anyone has looked into this as far as local news there in Florida as to whether or not this happened. I don't know if that's like public information. What do you think about that?
The same news story I watched, I also heard a little bit, and they were saying that they found the guy because of the video and matched his car and all that, and immediately after he got hit, he fled the scene and tried to escape, and they're trying to get him prosecuted right now. They're working through that process.
Wow.
So I know it does seem like it's an actual thing and it's not 100% staged.
I've driven a lot of miles, but I've had my fair share of getting irritated with people and tailgating a little bit, just because there's always that one person that's going to do 70 and a 70 in the fast lane and want to hold up traffic, and you just not hit them, but get a little closer to get them to either move over, speed up to move over. But this guy's definitely taking this too far. You never know what can happen. I mean, you could do this to somebody and then it'd be the wrong person and you end up having a shootout on the freeway or something. I mean, you never know, rolling your window down and flipping somebody the bird, what the outcome's gonna be of that.
I mean, you never know what kind of day people are having, man. I mean, that guy there could have been coming back from his mother's funeral or anything like that. I mean, I know there could be just different scenarios on what the situation is and what the story is behind as far as that person taking it to that level. I mean, what was the speed limit there
55.
on that road? It was 55.
Yeah.
55. So she was doing 60, which is 5 over, which normal everyday people usually do that because the cops don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So she was already going 5 over, and he was just it's like the average diesel truck driver. It's balls to the wall. Got to drive fast, and it caught up with him this time.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, again, we appreciate you listening to the show, Alex, and that was a great topic to discuss, and I'm glad you emailed us. And many people out there have watched this video with it being viral like it is, and again, we appreciate you listening in and emailing us on this topic. Again, I think we all concur that this was just a situation where someone just took it way too far and out of context.
Yeah, he did. I mean, as far as him acting crazy and riding their ass and all that, I don't think it could have. He shouldn't have taken it to that level. I mean, she did turn around and put the camera on the speedometer there, right?
Yes, yeah.
And she was going. What was it?
She was doing 60.
60. Okay,
Yep.
I mean, if he wanted to pull up next to her and give her the finger, yeah, whatever. But they didn't have to have this. Chicken in the middle of the road playing type of game.
Yeah.
He could have given her the finger and kind of went on about his way.
Yeah, just
that's
like
how I, at least I would have done it.
Just like Alex said, he, takes the same view on it. Alex, you having a good weekend?
Yeah, it's been pretty good so far. I mean, haven't really done much else. Had to go in a little bit in the shop and take care of some things yesterday and just kind of relax around the day. So enjoying the last hour or so of the weekend before work week starts again.
Yeah.
Back to reality tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
again.
the other thing I wanted to point out too about the video I thought was a little interesting too was the whole when she's going and filming it with the whole road rage thing. He goes to go past her and then she ends up speeding up too, kind of antagonizing him, trying to lure him in a little bit more and see.
Yeah.
So, there's definitely a little bit of fault on her side as well. And
Exactly.
then when it showed in front of her, you can see that the highway was clear, so there was no reason for her to not pull over in the slow lane as this guy passed. Maybe this outcome could have been avoided.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. Someone definitely got the last laugh, and unfortunately, it wasn't this guy this time. It looks like he might end up in jail and having to pay a hefty truck payment a month, even though he's pretty much totaled the truck.
Yeah, that truck looked like it was in pretty bad shape after all that.
Yeah, I think they said something, I think in the description or comment or something, it looked like he had like a light pole or some sort of sign, so it had to do a decent amount of damage to the vehicle.
Yeah.
Well, it was pretty loud on the video too. I mean, you could hear it over the wind when her window was down.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what? That's what we have New Era Auto and Design for. Everything automotive.
Yeah, so
Over here
we
to
can
Jay.
give the guys 15 minutes of fame in the shop. We'll charge him double.
And again, Alex is a native of Indianapolis, Indiana, and he emailed us on this video and topic, and we appreciate him and all the listeners that are, giving us a chance out there. Real Talk with JK&T is just, basically something we do for fun, and we never thought it would get to this point, but thanks to people like you, the show is actually doing fairly well.
Well, that's good. I'm very happy to hear about the success of the show. I mean, I've been listening to it since the first week and catching every week of it. There's lots of improvement to it, so I'm real happy for you guys.
Well, thank you.
We appreciate it. And if you have any other topics you want us to cover down the road, just again email us, and if it needs to be a call in, we'll get you back on the phone and get it taken care of.
All right, sounds good, guys.
All right. Hey, thanks for calling in. Travis, anything you want to say to Alex
Man,
for
I
you?
just want to say, man, thanks for following us. Like Jay said, giving us a chance. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. If you're not a part of our YouTube channel, do us a favor and subscribe there, and you'll get updates when we have new videos. If you happen to miss a week or something, you might get a reminder to let you know that we have uploaded a new show for you to listen to.
All right, yeah, I will definitely make sure I get that taken care of.
All right, guys.
All
We
right.
appreciate you very much.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Have a good night, Alex.
No problem, guys.
We'll see you.
All right, see you guys.
All right, guys. Yeah, that was Alex from Indianapolis, Indiana, and we got people following us from all over the United States. Like I said, YouTube had a demographic. We've got a listener in Alaska, one in California, obviously one in Texas who did a phone in with us here a couple weeks back. We're gonna have a new segment this week. It's called "You'll Have That" with your very own Jay. Listeners boycott a Calgary radio station in Canada for burning $5,000 in a fire for a promo. The radio station Amp Calgary was doing a promotional video where they were either going to give $5,000 away or they were going to burn it in a incinerary where they do crematory things in a cremation department. And they ended up burning the $5,000 on video after a morning talk show, and several thousands of people are boycotting that radio station now, and they have basically said, we're not listening to it no more. We're done. We're boycotting them. We're done.
Yeah, you'll have that.
And you'll have that. That's just part of life.
Yeah,
You'll
you
have
will
that.
have that. I mean, pretty ignorant there sounding. I haven't really looked into this story. I haven't heard much about it other than what Jay has just told everyone. I mean, hell, you got people out there living on the streets, whether it's here, Canada, Mexico, or hell, who knows, anywhere. And
Hey, that's the Canada way.
you'll have that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
We also have a new segment this week. Before I get to that, we want to know what's grinding Keith's gears.
what's grinding your gears?
Man, I get this all the time. I really hate it, but when you go through a drive-through window and order your food and they tell you to pull up to the window for your total, there's a digital screen right there. How long does it take to push in a fucking button?
Yeah,
So I know what my total is.
That's grinding some gears. That grinds my gears, especially the non-English speaking folks up there at the window.
I don't go to Burger King anymore, man. I'll tell you what. The one in Anderson, I went in there and they had a Hispanic man working up there and he didn't understand English. How am I supposed to order my food?
Your guess is as good as mine.
I guess you'll have that though.
Yeah, you'll have that.
You will have that, and it's nothing against anyone specific.
No,
The thing
but
is if you want to come here into our country and live and have the same benefits and rights of everyone else, just like you would expect us to learn your languages, I personally, like I said, this is JK&T, this show here, we can talk about some controversial things, and we might even offend a few people, but, we have a First Amendment for a reason. We have a right to say what we want to say, and you guys have a right to
disagree
listen
or
to
agree.
us or disagree or agree. But it's like I got a buddy of mine in the Navy. I'm not going to shout out his name until I get a hold of him to see, what's going on with him. Hell, maybe he'll be a future call-in for us. But he did say when he went overseas into Italy to live at a base there, he was, that the impression was from the Italians there that they do expect you to know some kind of, Italian language when you go there. So, like I'm saying, if you expect us to need to know your language, I think if you come here, you should probably need to know our language.
especially working in, where you're dealing with people all day long, and food especially. That's one thing you don't mess with, is a man's food.
Especially a fat man's food.
Yeah.
You'll have that.
Yeah, you'll have that. Now, how about some words of wisdom? Our very own Travis, he's a very wise white gentleman here. He definitely could share some...
Why is it got to be a racial thing?
It ain't racial. He definitely is a wise gentleman, and
Wise ass.
we can all be a wise ass. But Travis, do you have any words of wisdom for our listeners?
I went to askmen.com and I came up with I found a really good word of wisdom for everyone here, and I'm going to kind of put it into my own context and change it around a bit, but it says, never reveal 100% of anything to anyone. If you have a great idea on how to become a millionaire or how to convince the IRS that you really did only make $18,500 as a dental surgeon, never tell anyone all the details of your plan. Always hold something back. Reveal only 75% or 90% of the plan if you have to. It protects you, especially if that last 10% is illegal, and ensures that your great idea stays yours.
Yeah, that kind of follows along the lines of the gentleman from Scrub Daddy on last week's show. The inventor of Scrub Daddy basically said the same thing. But words of wisdom with T, that's amazing. It's a new segment we're going to do on these shows, is just a little words of wisdom with Travis.
I have another good one here coming to you guys. Never make a decision when you're angry. I personally can relate to this. Smart, careful men realize they must have a clear head to think. When you're angry, it's your boiling bloodlines that speak for you, not your logic. Control your emotions. This is one of the most important rules there is. When you're angry, you make threats you often can't deliver on or decisions you come to regret. Don't say I didn't warn you. I know a lot of us can sometimes do things I'll describe as kind of knee-jerk reactions, even when we're talking to our other significant others that we live with, our wives, or your girlfriends out there, or your wives. Sometimes we just have to take a good breath and relax.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we do have another wild local news story here. It's in Indianapolis, Indiana, and I know Keith hasn't heard this one yet. Maybe he has on the news. I don't know if Travis has either.
I don't know. I've been gone on vacation, so probably not.
Grandmother in Indianapolis, Alana Meeks, out of Indianapolis, says that her AT&T cable box had a stalker message on it. Actually, more than one. Words like, I see you and I want to rape your 9-year-old granddaughter. Very, very alarming. Coming through the AT&T cable box.
My God.
She tried replacing the cable box with a new one, but that did no good. Filed a police report with IMPD, who is currently investigating the matter. Fox 59 also came out and did an investigation, and while doing so, they had a message come across the screen that said Fox 59. Fred Cape with IU Cybersecurity Research Department says that this happens with infrared signal, and it has to be done with a direct line of sight. So someone with either a remote control or someone with access to the infrared signal is the only ones that can do that. So my guess is whoever's doing this is close and knows this lady or sees what's going on there. A hacker could also use an IR infrared radar detector repeater to signal into that cable box as well, but you have to know the exact address. I guess AT&T is on the case as well, trying to figure this out. But what I'm going to open up to you guys with is, how is this going to stop this gentleman from acting in a severe case when you have a message come through that says that he wants to rape a 9-year-old granddaughter? That's very alarming to me.
I can tell you the only thing that'll stop him when they find him, but we probably can't talk about that on the talk show.
Yeah,
You'll have that.
I mean, that's pretty sick.
That is sick. It's sad that someone has to have that happen.
I mean, she probably. I mean, to me, you know, I see you. Well, what they do, but when it comes across where they want to, you know, rape her 9-year-old granddaughter, that's I don't know, man.
That's taking it over the top.
Yeah, that's and he's got to be close, and for him to know that, you know, Fox 59's there and he sends it over, he's got to be watching.
Yeah.
So,
you know, sick people spend their days, you know, watching other people like that, and they get into a demented state of mind.
This could be a situation where the media took this and exploited this story, and this might even turn out to be pretty bad for the grandmother or the granddaughter, now that obviously this sick individual who is sending these messages knows all about it now.
it's like the new futuristic Jeffrey Dahmer we're dealing with here. That's pretty sick and sadistic. That's
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that goes to show you, I mean, crime like this, you know, we talked about rape last week on the show. Crime to that effect can take place through a cable box. That is amazing. Not amazing in a good way, but
Now, perfectly understand this. They're saying that the message has came across the cable box itself, or it's coming across, scrolling across her TV.
it's
How is
scrolling
this
across the
happening?
TV through the cable
'Cause
box.
I know if you have something like Comcast, there's some kind of option into there where you can go and actually view messages that Comcast sends you or something like that.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
working to the same effect. I guess that this guy's basically being the email sender or a message sender into the cable box itself, so he's able to hack into that cable box and directly send messages to this woman.
Well,
maybe they should look into if there's any AT&T workers that live around her. Because if it's a technician, they know how to program, they know how to use them.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
it's a good possibility.
you know, it's
No, I mean, I'm not saying anything against. I'm not saying that, you know, AT&T workers are, you know, disgusting perverts and,
right.
you know.
But
Child
what's
rapists,
interesting is they're saying as long as this guy has access to the IR signal, that he can, you know, use any device with IR or infrared and basically directly communicate with that cable box.
Okay, so when they change the cable box out, it changes the IR address. So obviously he's getting it from somehow.
Yeah, there's
So
some,
he's got a scanner, the same thing that they use to program them,
yeah,
and you can't just buy those at Walmart.
yeah, it's sick. You know.
It's a pretty sick threat. You know, hopefully they get a hold of this guy and find out who's doing this. And,
Before
you know, throw
anything
the book
happens
at
to
him.
the little girl, I mean, that's
Yeah, they need to take criminals like this off the street. And even the
Yeah.
grandmother said the best case scenario here for her to make her feel safe is if the gentleman gets caught, or lady, I don't know. They never did say whether it was a male or female, but she feels safe if he gets caught or she gets caught and goes to jail.
Exactly. And whether or not this guy thinks it's funny and he's joking around, you know, there's one thing you don't joke around with, in my opinion, and that's harming a kid.
Yeah,
I got a soft spot for kids, man.
yeah.
I do. That's just sick. There's nothing that else you can say besides it's sick, because you've got to be messed up in the head to even, not let alone think of putting that, but then actually writing it down.
Yeah.
It's disturbing to me.
But like I said, now this man knows that this story's out, and the IMPD is doing an investigation, and AT&T looks like they're on the case as well. I think when the grandmother reported this, it probably should have stayed private, so in that way, the police are doing the investigation. You know, this guy doesn't just know that this is going on, and you know, they can conduct this investigation privately, as well as AT&T, and taken care of their business and have caught this guy, you know. But now that he knows about it, if this guy's not a jokester out there and he's some sick individual, he might come forth and actually make promise on his words here.
This is my
Hopefully not.
question. If they can track a cell phone by using a tower to figure out where the last point you were, which runs off of a cell tower.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's cable, you know, satellite TV. The information has to come from somewhere.
Yeah. There's
So
gotta
why
be-
can't they track where he's at, sending it to the box?
Yeah.
That's just
an
common
interesting-
sense to me. That's my question.
Interesting view or take on it. There's got to be a way to
I
catch
guess
this
to
man.
really understand that, you'd have to understand the technology behind this, and some of these people out there are really smart doing this hacking. I mean,
sick people we've got out there,
yeah.
local and on the world level. I mean, it
Exactly,
doesn't matter
yeah.
what city you live in.
People hack into the Pentagon, people hack into the White House, people hack into all kinds of things. You know, it happens out there, and then again, going back to famous words from Jay, you'll have that.
Yeah, you'll have that. Well, Keith, you got anything else that's grinding your gears here lately?
I got a lot, but I can only share a few.
Well, what's grinding your gears right now?
Here's a big thing for me because, you know, I usually grow a beard. But I see grown men with full beards. And I mean, I'm talking full beards. I'm not
We're talking
talking
like Willie
just-
Robertson,
I'm
Phil
talking
Robertson.
Willie Robertson
What are
or
they rocking these days?
skinny jeans. Come on, that takes the manhood right out of everything.
Skinny jeans.
Come on,
With-
nut huggers, whatever you want to call
Oh my God. What has this
Yeah.
world come to?
them.
I mean, I've honestly never been one for tight-fitting jeans. I've seemed to always go the baggy route, you know, not baggy
Well,
enough where my pants
let-
are falling off my butt, but
Wranglers are fine. But when you're talking, you're wearing something that looks like Miley Cyrus would wear, that
Well, I mean,
hugs your calves and your thighs, and that you can't even pull them all the way up.
these young kids see people like rappers like Lil Wayne making this stuff sound like it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. In his music and other celebrities, they're going out and rushing out, and they've got to get the skinny jeans.
Where's the parents in this?
They're
The
not.
parents are buying it. Why don't you just be a parent instead of a friend and say, no, you ain't wearing that trash? Of course, it could just be how I was raised. You know, I grew up in the country. I wear normal jeans, you know, work boots, ball cap, and a t-shirt. But I'll be damned if my kids ever come home and go, Dad, I want a pair of skater pants, or I want some chick jeans to wear. It ain't happening.
you know, to each their own. If you want to rock skinny jeans, I guess that's one of the good things about living in this country, doing pretty much anything you want. But from just a health-related standpoint, I know they've done possible studies on this before, and I do know, as far as the skinny jeans go, that they can cause some sort of problems with blood circulation in your legs.
Yeah, that's pretty scary in its own.
That, and doctors used to say that guys that wear Wranglers all the time, it actually makes you sterile because it holds the heat in more.
Wow.
In your manhood area there.
Yeah, you'll have that.
Yeah, again, that's another you'll have that. But on other news, Travis read a story about a new, I don't know if it's a game or what is it, Travis, with kids and erasers at school. Just, what they're doing basically, they're taking these erasers and rubbing them against their arms or what have you, and burning the skin off of their arms and legs or whatever the case may be, and passing the eraser around. I mean, what is going on with young America or young youth in this country? It's sick. This is silly. Again, how are the school corporations allowing this stuff to get this deep?
I don't know. I mean, when we were in school, we had fun games.
Yeah, fun.
I mean,
Kids are just going to be kids, I think.
Yeah.
No, this ain't kids being kids. Kids being kids is, when I was a kid, it was a fart machine in the classroom, and whenever the teacher bent over to pick up a pencil or something,
You let the whippy cushion blow.
Yeah, I mean, those were games we played in school.
Yeah.
And you got sent down to the dean's office and got talked to. But this crap right here, I mean, the shit these kids come up with. I don't understand
It's
it.
crazy. You got, the knockout game going on out there. Kids are playing, and now we got this game. It's known as a Racer Challenge, and the educators are trying to rub out dangerous new game known as what I just said.
Eraser
It's called
Challenge.
The Eraser Challenge. The Connecticut Middle School is trying to rub out a dangerous new fad called the Eraser Challenge. According to Fox, CT, and the Eraser Challenge, students take an eraser and rub it back and forth across their arm while reciting the alphabet and coming up with the word for each letter. Once they get to the letter Z, they stop and show off their reddened skin to friends. Bethel Middle School officials sent a letter Thursday warning parents about the eraser game, calling it a troubling activity that teens across the country have been getting involved in. School principal Derek Muharram said he first found out about the game after several students told the school's nurse they had marks on their arms while playing their game, after playing the eraser challenge. This is what Mr. Moharram has said. He goes, when I found out what the kids were sharing, what I found out was kids were sharing erasers, so as they broke the skin, they were passing the eraser off to somebody else. Body fluids being shared, and that's a concern of mine, Moharram told Fox CT. He said to date, about a dozen Bethel students have played the game. Please take the time to talk to your child about this to make sure they are not involved in the ridiculous and unsafe act, Moharram said in his letter to parents. Bethel Middle School 6th grader Alexandria Lors told Fox CT that she has seen many of her classmates play the game, mostly in the hallways. The girl said playing the game never appealed to her. They were like, oh, it stings so bad, but they just kept going, Alexandra said. Videos that have popped up on YouTube show the eraser challenge being played mostly by 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. It's happening all over, Moharram told the Connecticut Post. What concerns me is that kids seeing something and then they try it because of peer pressure. Our job is to keep kids safe. Doctors say the rubbing can leave scars on the skin and cause infections.
Wow. Again, and they're calling this a game. This is not a game. It's
ignorance.
What I call a little sick son of a bitch action. It's just
that's a new one there.
It just is sick. I mean, this is
shit
is out of hand.
Are we gonna have an SSB, function now? Sick son of a bitch. We find something on the news.
I mean, come on with the bullshit. I mean, this stuff has got to stop. This is just out and out asinine. I mean, that would grind my gears. Does it grind your gears?
It really grinds my gears. I mean, this new generation that we have of kids right now coming up with these things is just out of this world, and it is concerning with the scarring and the possible travel and infection, from cut to cut when these kids are passing these erasers off with blood and fluid on it. It's just ridiculous.
Absolutely, it's ridiculous.
I don't even think I have anything to put with this. I mean, because it's not a damn game. Honestly, it's not.
No.
I mean,
someone needs to grab the horse by its reins right now and get it handled, or it's just going to be another something that goes coast to coast, and more stories like this will come out. Just sickening. In other news, we've got news about Dick's Sporting Goods requiring potential background checks on ammo.
Don't even get me started on this.
It's just another thing for them to use to control, guns and ammo.
All right, let's just put it out there. I'm an avid Second Amendment supporter, gun owner. I like to fish. I like to hunt. Anything to do with a gun or a pole, I'll do it. Here's the problem with this. I feel I already have to go through a background check to buy the weapon.
Yeah.
So if I pass that, why am I having to go through a background check to buy ammo? And why is it only Dick's? And this is what the problem is. When we had this whole controversy of banning the AR-15s, which the government calls an assault weapon, and they compare it to an M4, you can compare it all you want to an M4. The big difference is an AR-15 is semi-automatic, and an M4 is full automatic.
Yeah. Or
semi-automatic. So,
but a background check on ammo, come on.
I mean, when we had this whole push on banning things because of the school shootings and the mall shootings or the, movie theaters, my heart goes out to the families that were affected by that. But in the same time, I got to look at it as I'm losing what I feel is my right as an American citizen who obeys the law because we have a few wackos out there that couldn't pass a psychiatric test, and the government's allowing them to have guns because we feel that it's infringing on their rights for us to know if they're a whack job or not.
Yeah.
And now we're saying, Dick's is saying you have to go through a background check to buy ammo. And it boils down to why is it only Dick's?
Yeah, I don't see it stopping there.
Dick's
with
was
just
the
Dick's.
first company to ban the selling AR-15s and all this stuff happened.
I could see this exponentially getting greater and larger. It normally starts with one big company like that and then spreads to others.
I do know after the Sandy Hook thing happened, Dick's did remove all the black semi-automatic rifles from their shelves, and now they're obviously reports like you guys are saying that they're going to mandate their own background check system for the purchase of this ammunition. This is crazy. I mean, when is our country going to realize that people can commit murder with things other than just firearms and the ammunition that goes in them?
Absolutely.
I mean, people are killed with...
If we're going to do background checks on ammunition, why don't we do background checks on knives, forks, spoons,
hammers, sawzalls,
cylinder blocks?
I mean, where's it going to stop?
Yeah, where is it going to stop?
And I don't think this is a smart business move from Dick's. I do know here locally we do have a new Cabela store coming into the Hamilton Town Plaza, which will probably, more likely, put Dick's in a pretty bad shape. And I know that them mandating some sort of crazy system like this probably did not help their cause at all.
They've hardly got ammo anyway, so I mean...
Yeah.
That's besides the point, but I don't understand. I really don't. I mean, we can go on and on about this for 9 hours on, what our rights should be and what they shouldn't be. And I hear a lot of people complain that, well, the Second Amendment was put there to keep you safe from a tyrant government. It's not there for your personal protection needs. Correct. I can go with that. Whatever. But for a background check on ammo, I mean, you have to be 21 to buy 22 ammo.
Yeah.
You can be 18 to buy shotgun ammunition. But I don't understand it. I really don't.
Well,
And it could be that, I'm biased on this. I really am.
exactly. And I do know that there's a gun rights group called Gun Rights Across America. They're in Illinois. And a message they received from a member of theirs is as followed. A member of theirs went into Dick's Sporting Goods in Niles, Illinois. He went to purchase some .308 ammo. When he went to check out, he says they scanned his FOID card and asked him some questions. When refusing to answer, he refused to finish the purchase and asked what was up with the third degree. He was informed it was policy. Now get this, when he asked to see such policy, he was informed they didn't have a copy for him to review.
Wow. I mean, where do we draw the line? It's going to be the question for years to come. At some point, you've got to draw the line with enough is enough.
Yeah, it's horrible. I do enjoy, shopping at Dick's and getting some things from them, but, I figured after the first stunt they pulled after the Sandy Hook shooting that they, kind of knee-jerk reaction along with a lot of other companies and stopped selling certain firearms and ammunition, whatever it was, and honestly kind of gave them a chance. And I have purchased some things from them since then, but honestly, with the continual growing of ignorant policies they're putting into place, I'm not sure if this is somewhere I would personally shop at anymore.
Yeah, you'll have people boycotting them like they did the Calgary radio station, AMP Calgary, after all of this, because I'm sure there's some avid hunters and sportsmen that go in there and they would like to buy, their ammo there with whatever else they're buying. Maybe that 500-pound Under Armour shirt's being sold there too.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's just, and it goes back to what we're saying. Where do we draw the line on this?
This is just basically nothing short of an invasion of privacy and discrimination against law-abiding gun owners.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, now, I'll admit there probably are some people that own guns illegally, be felon or whatever, that buy ammo from stores and they're trying to crack down on that. But at the same time, I mean, if I carry a weapon, I have a concealed carry permit. And if I'm allowed to carry that, why do you need my background check? for ammo.
Exactly, and criminals aren't gonna register their firearms or go through background checks for ammunition. They'll just get them from straw purchasers, and all these laws do, or all they do, is affect the owning of firearms by law-abiding citizens, and that's just basically what it boils down to.
We have so many gun laws that we don't even put in place or use that would prevent stuff like this from happening. But the only thing we have are politicians that make more and more and more gun laws that we're not going to enforce to begin with, unless it's on this gun grabbing thing that the Obama administration has put in play.
Yeah, I mean, if the store just needs to stop selling their guns and ammo altogether if it continues to discriminate against gun owners and invade their privacy.
Absolutely, I agree with that 110%.
I mean, they're not even they call it, Dick's Sporting Goods, but really they're more into, athletic, golf,
yeah,
running gear, tennis shoes,
yeah,
stuff like that. I mean, their selection of ammunition and weapons is, I've seen Walmart's have more.
Yeah, it's gone downhill over the last couple of years. I remember at one time being able to go into Dick's Sporting Goods and they had a comparable selection with any other firearm store, but nowadays you're lucky if you see 2 or 3 guns up on an empty shelf.
All I can say is thank God Cabela's is coming.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Gander Mountain, don't get me wrong, I like Gander Mountain, but it's the way their prices are, they're higher because there's nothing else around us that has what they have and as much as they have. So I'm hoping when Cabela's comes in that that'll change a lot of outlooks on everything, because and for anybody that's listening that lives around the area that likes to shop at Cabela's, they're saying that will be completed and open in September of 2015.
Yeah, that'll be a glorious time.
Yeah.
But we are going to wrap up this week's show. Again, we appreciate each and every one of you that listen to us. Before we do close, Keith, do you have anything else this week that's grinding your gears?
Yeah, what?
Why don't you just tell our listeners what's grinding Keith's gears?
What's chapping Keith's ass this week?
Getting 900 invites a day to play Candy Crush on Facebook.
Yeah, I've got to be
Really?
tired of that.
I think that the old age annoyances with this whole Facebook and trying to get people to agree to give you an extra life on Candy Crush. I think it all kind of started from the Farmville, and it's like, Candy Crush kind of took over and showed little son the way.
It's like a guy on the internet on YouTube spending like $800 on Candy Crush,
about something like
and then
that.
this flips out when his mom asks him where all of her money went, and
Oh yeah, Francis.
Francis. Oh boy, he was pissed, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was madder than a hornet.
Oh, but yeah, it just I get on there just talk with friends and share photos with me and the kids, and I just
lighten up on the Candy Crush invites, folks.
it's
You're killing me.
yeah, you're boiling my blood pressure, man.
Well, you can find us on YouTube. We have this is a weekly thing. This is week 5 with Real Talk with JK and T.
You gotta say it the right way. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Real Talk
with JK and T. And
Jesus.
you can find us on YouTube. One word, Real Talk with JKT. You can email us at realtalkwithjkt@gmail.com. You can also Facebook us. Search Real Talk with JKNT. And we are on Facebook, and we've got people that have followed us on there just as much as anything else.
Exactly. And again, another wrap. This is week 5. We thank all you guys for listening to us, subscribing to our channel, emailing us your questions, topics of concern, and keep them coming. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to this summer being able to do some live shows. Maybe we can work out a deal there at Wings, etc. to do some live shows, and maybe get a couple other restaurants, bars, and maybe some clubs that'll let us do a live Real Talk session. That would be great. Get the word out there.
Awesome, yeah.
I'm thinking we need to do some video cast.
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
fishing lures or something. I mean,
Oh, I mean that's coming, folks. Here in the next weeks to come, as the weather gets nicer, we're going to start doing product reviews. We've got a list of people wanting some product reviews. A lot of things that have to do with fishing and hunting equipment,
shooting.
yeah, just various product reviews. Those will be in video format where you can see us actually use the product, and then each and every one of us will give our thoughts on the product itself. And again, we appreciate you. Tell a friend, tell family, tell anyone you can that we're out there. We like for people to come back and listen to us and have some company throughout the week. Maybe if it's just an hour out of your time in the week, maybe you'll just give us an hour of your time. That'd be great.
We promise we won't stalk you through your cable box either.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you got Comcast, I might be able to send you a couple messages.
All right, guys. Thanks again, and we'll hit you up next week.
Later.